Welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Alston, and it is once again a pleasure to bring you quality programs to all of you. This year, we are back, bigger, better, everything this year in 2018. So this is definitely the platform that you want to be on. Just in case you didn't know, the purpose of the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast is to share industry information and to encourage our working professionals to enter their line of work. So please be sure to take a moment to listen to all the podcasts, look at all the videos, look at all the bios, and reconnect and make a relationship with some of the people that are out here that is doing phenomenal things in the community for our businessmen and women of color. First, I would like to take a moment to thank our corporate partners, Kat Serrano, LLC, Cheryl Wood Empowers, Concern and Learning, Evangelism Radio, Genesis Preferred Solutions, J Coach International, Nails Tax Help, My Financial Home, Power, STCI, and the student teacher, along with our other business partners and sponsors to help make this event a success. And we also want to take a moment to thank our business affiliates and all of the participants who are on this platform to share their information and to really enlighten us with their expertise. So today I have a phenomenal lady who's on here, and she deals with weddings. And last year we didn't have a wedding planner, but I am really excited to have Connie Amos-Parson, CEO of At Your Service Events Planner LLC. And she is an accredited wedding planner, certified sandals specialist, and a Virginia state manager of the Association of Bridal Consultants. ABC is the largest organization for wedding professionals with over 4,000 members worldwide. She's also celebrating 10 years in her business. Connie loves to give back to her community by planning and executing nonprofit fundraising for organizations, which includes the American Heart Association, Susan G. Komen, Virginia Blue Ridge, and many other 501c3 nonprofit and charitable organizations. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Connie to the podcast. Welcome.
Hi there, Ann. How are you this evening?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I can't wait to talk with you.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how did you get into wedding planning?
Okay, I was born and raised in Lynchburg, Virginia, and once I finished high school, I wanted to go to college. So I started at Johnson C. Smith University, historically black college and university, and I decided I wanted to move to D.C. and stay with my brother and finish up. So I went to the University of Maryland, College Park, finished up there with a bachelor's degree in business management, and went to work for the federal government. And from there, I took an early retirement and decided I wanted to be a business owner. And I opened up my business in 2007 at Your Service Events Planner, LLC. And I love what I do. I have a passion for my job. I have a passion for working with people, working with my clients, and just doing a variety of events, from weddings to corporate events to social events. And then my favorite is sandals and beaches vacations.
I've never been there. I've never been to Sandals. I really need to
Oh,
go.
you have to go. You and
I
your husband
know.
have
I'm
to
so
go.
guilty because everybody, I mean, I've known about sandals for like so many years, but I've never been. I don't know why I've never been, but I definitely need to start going to some of these
That's
places.
right. Now you know somebody who does it, so I'll hook you up and you can go have a good time and everything.
Oh,
I
don't
love
start
it. I
that.
love
Oh, don't
it.
start this up now, Connie. Don't start it up. Let me ask you a question. Okay, so you kind of just went from like 0 to 100, and it sounds fantastic that your background sounds really interesting. But I want to take a step back and kind of talk about a
Uh-huh.
little bit about when you were in school and what was kind of going through your mind as you was going through school and what you wanted to do as a career, because I'm pretty sure you might have done something different before you became a wedding planner. And so I want to give people the opportunity to hear how you transition from what you were doing before to what you're doing now.
Okay, well, I'll start from the beginning. When I was in the federal government, I started off actually as a clerk typist, GS4, and before I finished my bachelor's degree at University of Maryland, and I knew that I could do more and I could get promoted, and so I decided I was going to work on my personal development in my career. So I went back to school, finished my bachelor's degree, and from there I was promoted to a paralegal specialist. I worked at the
Mm.
Federal Trade Commission. I loved that. But that was the ceiling at the time. We couldn't go any further. So then I decided I wanted to get promoted, and I went to work for the Department of Defense, and I was a management analyst and program analyst. And I love that as well because I traveled a lot with the Department of Navy. So blame that on my reason for loving to travel.
Okay.
I loved it, and got a chance to go to Australia.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
and the federal government paid my way. So yeah, and so then I decided I wanted to get my master's degree. So I went to Johns Hopkins University and got my master's certificate in leadership development for managers and in business management. And then I decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and try to get another promotion, and I did, and I was a project manager PMP. And
Wow.
yeah,
That's
that was the hardest
amazing.
exam I've ever taken.
Yes,
Hardest
it
exam
is.
I've ever taken.
I've taken
Yeah.
it quite a few times and it is hard. And
Yes.
I actually had to go down to the CAPM certification because one, I didn't quite have enough hours, but I went ahead and tried to take the PMP and it
Uh-huh.
was really, really hard. It was really hard for me. I
Yes.
don't know why I couldn't
It's
get it,
it's
but I
it was very hard, and it's I think isn't it 4 hours? I believe it was 4 hours, and it's straight. You
yeah,
don't have a mental break
yeah.
at all. And
No,
but guess
you
what?
don't.
I passed it. I passed it,
Yes.
and yeah, and I got to work on really high level projects with several different agencies, and I was a team leader. 35 people were on my team from Social Security in Baltimore, Financial Management Service in D.C., and Chicago Treasury Department. And so we won an award from Vice President Gore at the time. I was dating
Wow.
myself, but that's okay. And
Wow.
yeah, and so then that's when I decided to take an early retirement. I had the years, and I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to get away from all of the stress,
Mhm.
and I wanted to be able to control my destiny and to be able to do something fun as for a while. So that's when I decided to do do wedding and events planning.
Wow.
So
Such
yeah,
an
so here I
amazing
am.
journey. Such an amazing journey, Connie, I have to say, because I can see a
Thank
little
you.
bit of, of all the transitions just listening to your background. I know that sometimes you get in these jobs and you just really love it, and then you just have this epiphany and you're like, okay, I think I want to do something else, or you get promoted to
Mhm.
do something else. And maybe from your perspective, maybe share with the audience, and especially for the young people that are listening, to this type of thing, what was some of the things that you done in your career that made it so easy for you to either get promoted or transition into another position? What was some of those things that you would kind of offer advice to young folks?
First of all, it wasn't easy. It really wasn't easy to get promoted. One grade, or when you get professional level, 2 grades at a time. You have to work hard. You have to go above and beyond just your normal duties. You have to, go the extra mile. You have to be willing to work as a team and work as a team player. You have to have initiative, get along with people, have dedication and determination, all of those things. And I really, it was a blessing to me because I went to 3 branches of the military to work as a civilian, Army, Navy, and Headquarters Marine. And the military don't play. You get your job done. They want you to get it done on time. They have a mission, and they have teamwork. And so that really, in my 20s and early 30s, that really showed me how I should conduct my career in order to get ahead, in order to be recognized, in order to get awards and promotion.
Mm.
So, no, it's not easy to get promotion, and not even my first one. I
Mhm.
mean, it's so much competition, especially in the D.C. area. And so, you have to show that you have the right stuff, that you can do the job, and you're willing to do what it takes to get the job done. And that was my motto. That's the
Right.
way I like to work.
Right. And I'm glad that you took that approach that is not easy because some people, for whatever reason, they are able to get promoted up the ranks without doing a lot of work. But for the 90 something percent of us that are
Hmm.
out there working, it is definitely not easy. Even in my own transition, I had to do a lot of work. I had to go to college, had to get a degree. I had
Hmm.
to put myself in certain situations that will allow me to excel to the next level, but you got to be open minded, pretty much like you were saying, just just letting the floodgate of information come to you and allowing it to be used in a way that you can actually leverage that. And that's what I kind of wanted to get out of that piece of the conversation, because as people are listening to this podcast and some of the other
Hmm.
ones that I have here, they have to know that you have to do the work in order to reap the benefits. It is so
That's
true
right.
that you have to do that.
You
So
have to put in. Hmm.
once you got your free time and you decided to go into the wedding and events planning, talk a
Hmm.
little bit about how you kind of begin with that, and and talk about some of the services that you offer people when you do your at for your travel and the wedding and the whole thing.
Okay. So because I had already finished the government, I waited a year before I decided to work, and I just wanted to get my head around what I really wanted to do with my life. I knew I wanted to stay active, so I was in the new area, and I decided to, in terms of the field, and I said, well, I need to get my accreditation or certification. I need to know about it. I need to get training, because just volunteering in my church and on my job to do events is a totally different thing than getting paid as a professional. So I went to took Penn Foster College, Penn Foster program online, and I got a book. You could either do CD or book, and I wanted to have a book because I like to highlight. And so I did that, and I passed successfully. And then I didn't find out until this year the Association of Bridal Consultants produces that program. They write that program. So they gave us a 6-month complimentary membership under the Association of Bridal Consultants, and that was in 2009. And after then, I began to network. I began to get my education and training, and just had just so many opportunities to learn from the best. And that is when I knew I had found my tribe. And then, of course, with all the benefits they offer, one of the benefits is Sandals and Beaches, Grand Pineapple Vacations and Honeymoons. And they offered a trip to tour, which is a FAM trip. And I said, sure, I'll go to Antigua. So I went to Sandals Antigua, and had a chance to tour and experience Sandals, to go to the beaches, to see the quality, the high quality of service that they offer, to see the delicious 5-star restaurants and food they have. And I just fell in love with it. So, yeah, that's how I started out. I moved up in, I think it was 5 years, I believe, 4 or 5 years, and to be the Virginia State Manager. I was interviewed for that and was selected as Virginia State Manager, and I'm serving my second term now. It's 3 years, and I just that it's just the right fit for me. You asked about the services and that we offer. I offer wedding planning, from month of services, partial services, and I have 3 full service packages: Enchanted, Heavenly, and then I have a luxury package, which is top of the
Mm.
line package, where you want somebody to do everything for you. pick you up and take you to appointments,
That's
everything.
me. That's me. I'm gonna tell you, Connie, that is me right there. Okay, I'm gonna want somebody to do everything for me because if I have to go on vacation, I want to be pampered, right? So I'm gonna be
Exactly.
spoiled. So I want somebody to come and pick me up and take
That's
me to
right.
wherever I want to go, and
Exactly. And there are people who
especially
want that.
when my 20-year anniversary is around the corner. So I'm gonna
What?
have to talk to you
Yes,
offline
you
about that
are.
because definitely would like to schedule something for me and my hubby to do something on our
I would
20th.
love to help you, and
See, I'm making everybody jealous
congratulations.
already. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's okay. They can go too. That is open to everyone.
That's right. It's
and
open to everyone. Wow. Okay, because
well,
that's definitely
uh
now what other resorts do you have affiliation with? Is it just sandals or do you have some other resorts that you kind of go with and
you,
kind of refer people to?
you know what? I have worked. I have done. Been to Hawaii myself, and sent several clients to Hawaii, and to Vegas, of course. And I've traveled a lot and sent clients a lot. But at some point in time, you have so many diverse services, and that you have to kind of cut back because you can't do it all. So now my specialty is sandals and beaches. Now, sandals is for couples, and beaches is for family, individuals, as destination weddings when you have family. So I kind of cut it back to that. But I will do a trip out, to another place, but I don't specialize in like a travel agent who does everything because I
Gotcha.
just can't. Yeah, with weddings and all of that, I can't, in corporate, I can't do every
Mhm.
single thing.
Can't do everything. Okay,
Yeah.
so what other type of event planning do you offer your customers? Does it stay with just the weddings, or if they have like a corporate event, or if they have in some other type of event, do you help coordinate that?
Yes, I have done corporate events. My largest one was Frito Lay, and Dotson, a company in Lynchburg, Virginia. That was the largest one. They had 1,200 employees and family in 4 different cities. I did that 2 years ago for their 70th anniversary. I've done Frito Lay, that was in Lynchburg, and they had 600 employees, for a picnic, believe it or not. And we had the rock climbing wall and the face painting and caricature drawing, all of that. And so I've done the corporate side. I also do social events. I've done parties. I've done from 16th birthday party to 90th birthday party. I was blessed to be able to do a 90th birthday party for a elder, and so I do those.
Wow.
Yeah, so I kind of have diverse, mostly social events and corporate events for companies, and I've also had small businesses, like maybe 15 to 20 employees, and they wanted to have a teen day. And so I planned for them, within their budget. They had the limousine to pull up in front of the building, the red carpet, and they wanted to go to a putt a golf course, and have food and eat there. They just wanted a fun day for 4 hours. So I've done things like that as well too, and it really makes me happy, and because I'm a fun person anyway, so I enjoy what I do because I enjoy,
Wow.
helping other people to be happy.
Yeah, and that leads into my other question. I was going to say, if somebody wanted to do what you do, what are some of the best things about being a wedding planner or an events planner? And also, what are some of the worst parts so that we can kind of get your perspective of, why you like doing what you do?
Okay, the good part is, okay, I am a person who likes, to see it all come together. Well, I guess that's my project management background. So from the time that I talk with the bride and have my first consultation, and I ask them, "What is your dream wedding? What do you want to see at your wedding?" And they smile and they tell me everything they want, and I write it down. And what I am here for is to orchestrate and make sure you have your dream wedding day. So all the moving parts, I get together the vendors. If they have their own vendors, and I make sure they have a contract. And if they want me to help select vendors, I have a preferred vendors list, and we interview the vendors and talk with them. And I make sure that I try to cover all my bases to get everything from the DJ to the florist, the caterer, the cake baker. Even I had someone who had a what is it, smoke machine, like they were in a cloud. That was her dream. And I
Wow.
wanted to make sure, yeah, they want ice sculptures, whatever they want, I'd find for them if that's what they want.
Mhm.
And that they is in their budget and they want to pay for it, then it's up to me to make it happen. And my team and I, on the day of, or usually Friday before, we do the rehearsal. I get to know the wedding party. I already know their names, all of that. And I make the hotel reservation for them if they want me to, and the rehearsal dinner if they want me to. And then the next day, we just go in a few hours before the wedding starts and we get started. I have a checklist of everything, the pre-ceremony, the actual pre-reception. We check everything off the list, and we go through it, make sure that the vendors are there at the time they say they're going to be there. We work well with our vendors, make sure that they've gotten, if they're serving dinner, make sure that they have dinner served to them. And then at the end of the evening, make sure that everything is taken care of for the bride and groom, or or couple, and then when they leave, it's just usually our company at your service events planner and the DJ rolling out last. So yeah, so
Well, you
I
know
love
what?
it because I
Wow.
get a chance to just see how it's beautiful. Weddings are so
Yes.
beautiful,
They are
and
beautiful. And thank you for breaking that down. I don't think a lot of people understand how much work it goes into scheduling an event. I don't care how small it is. You
mm-mm,
know, whether
it's
it's a training
yeah,
class or wedding, it's a lot of work. Just having you
right.
go and find all the vendors and making sure everything goes well is definitely something that has to be very precise if you are trying
Mhm,
to be, have a successful event. So I really
mhm.
appreciate you breaking that down. So let's talk about things that you have on your plate as far as events. This is a time for you to kind of tell everybody what events you have going on that you want people to know about that's coming up in the spring, early summer, in terms of any social events that you want people to register for. Let everybody know
Yes.
what you have going on.
Okay, so I'm trying to think right now. I have some things on my plate. I am also, I forgot to tell you that, I just got appointed 2 weeks ago officially as the event planning team leader for my church. So
Nice.
I,
That's very nice.
yes, it is. So they have 33 ministries, and
Mm,
I am responsible for assisting them and helping them to plan and execute that. So right now I'm planning. I got 3 events coming up for my church. I've got a this year for 2018. I have a group coming in from the Bahamas that we have to find hotels and I guess things to do in the DC area for the weekend. And then I am working on a conference. The conference, I just got the idea last week. So the conference is called Empowering Women to Speak Out, Phenomenal Women Walking in Our Purpose.
nice.
Yes. And I'm planning that for March 2019 only because we have 7 of the 10 speakers who are out of town. And I want to make sure that we get the hotel and space for them and also to give, people enough time to plan ahead
Hmm.
financially.
That's right.
And that's coming up next year. It's going to be held in Alexandria, and I've got hotel space for them already, and I just need space for the conference. And we're expecting prayerfully that we get about 100 attendees or more. It would be great.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of the speakers. We have 7 authors, and then we have 8 authors, I guess, and then one public relations specialist, and then another wedding planner.
Nice.
So that's going to be next year,
That sounds
and
amazing. I want to go to that.
I would love for you to
I
go,
would
and I
love to
would
come
love.
out with that. Where is it going to be located? Where is this event planning? I know this is still in planning, but where is this going to be held?
Okay, I was looking for space at the hotels, but I'm trying to keep the cost affordable. So I have put in a request to my church to use some space there to keep the cost affordable for
Okay.
everyone, because there are so many dynamic speakers who are
Yes.
coming here and accepted my invitation to come out of, I mean, as far away as my publisher for my book, from Louisiana,
Oh yeah,
Connecticut,
you have a
Pennsylvania.
book. Let's talk about your book. I almost forgot. You have a book, right? We
I
can't leave the
do.
podcast without your book. Like this is you have
I
so much good stuff to
do.
talk about. Oh my God, we got to squeeze it in. Okay, so tell everybody about your book.
Okay, it's peaks, valleys, and overcoming the odds, stepping out on faith and confidence.
Mm,
And I wrote this book. I had the idea and started writing it on September the 3rd last year. I finished it in 19 days. I got my publisher off online Facebook from Act Like a Success, Steve Harvey's group.
Oh, I like
I
that
got
group.
Yes, I love it. Yes, and I got my publisher, and it's DB Publications Inc., LLC,
Okay.
Demetria Dorsey, and she did an excellent job with the editing and the cover and the pictures and all of that. And it's a short autobiography of my life. What you hear is the person that I reinvented for myself, because there were some things in my life that, as all of us go through peaks and valleys, and I was able to overcome. So I wanted people to know the me, who I am. So I started my book with my grandparents, my parents, my childhood, all the way up until I got to chapter 6, and then I told them about what changed my life. And from there, I overcame domestic abuse. And then from there, chapter 7 through chapter 13 is where I reinvented my life. That's when I
Nice.
went back to
Wow.
school and got my degrees. That's when I started wanting to fulfill my career, make it better for my two children, my son and my daughter, and I wanted to be successful. And that's folks with my focus on that in faith in God, then God allowed it to happen. So
Mm.
I've had several 5-star reviews already on Amazon. It's on Amazon.com. And to me, coming from a person just reading it myself several times, it's a good book because I poured my heart into it. But it's short. It's only 54 pages.
You
So
know
you,
what? That's all you need is 54 pages to tell your
that's
story. You know, I mean, it
exactly.
must be that powerful for you to be able to just tell your story like that. And I have to say, just listening to you in this podcast right now, between what you said earlier and now your book, now to me it makes perfect sense and it's a perfect compliment. Because again, I mentioned earlier about how you were able to just transition, and each time you did that, you were transforming yourself again and again and
Mhm.
again to something bigger and
Mhm.
better. And that is truly remarkable the way I see it. That's to me, that's
Thank you.
truly remarkable
Thank
because
you so
everybody
much.
can't do it. And especially if you
No.
have any kind of domestic violence or any kind of violence
Mhm.
in the family, it is always that much harder to
Mhm.
reinvent and overcome a lot of things. So I really applaud you for that.
Thank
I,
you.
I
Thank
have a
you.
soft spot because I understand. I've been there. And but at the
Okay.
same time, for people who are listening, whatever state that you are in your personal professional life, as you can hear from what Connie is saying, she has overcome a lot of stuff. So there really
Mhm.
isn't no excuse on not being able to move forward in your life. And I really want you guys to buy her book, figure out what's going on, contact her, ask her questions, plan a wedding, plan an event, do all those things that's going to help
Playing
you.
sandals.
That's right, plan sandals, do all that kind of stuff. And I just want to thank you so much, Connie, for sharing
Thank
just this
you.
little bit of information, but it's such great information about you, your background, your book, and sandals. And so tell everybody how they can find you, your website, your contact information, and everything.
Okay, it's Connie Amos-Parsons. My company is At Your Service Events Planner LLC. I'm on Facebook at Your Service Events Planner LLC. I'm on Instagram, Planners Rock. I'm on Pinterest at One Wedding Diva, or at your service events planner, with a picture of David Tutura. and I'm also on Twitter and at AYS Events One, and my website is AYSEventsPlanner.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Connie. Really
Thank you
appreciate you
so
coming
much.
out of here, and thank you for supporting the podcast and doing what you do to help young folks and everybody out there that's listening to your podcast. We're definitely going to be working together in the future for sure.
Yes, thank you so much, Ann. You're a blessing, and thank you for having me here. And I look forward to meeting you very soon, because you are doing some very positive, making contributions to the community and allowing us to share our gifts and our talents with the world. So thank